Hello. Welcome back to your friendly neighbor Noob. Of course, I'm friendly. We're back with another hardcore Minecraft. That's right, we're back with hardcore Minecraft, where we're gonna go from 100 days to 150. And I'm nervous. I'm worried I'm gonna die, but don't worry. There's no way I can die. There's no way that I could possibly die here, right? Right? Anyway, guys, don't forget to eat spaghetti, and let's get right into this, shall we? Let's go! I came back into the world and I was nervous. I was a little scared, a little frightened. I was back in hardcore after playing so many SMPs and dying a little bit on the SMPs. I wasn't allowed to do that now. So for the first day, I decided I would just mine some andesite. I needed to clear the area for builds that were going to go in that direction, and I just needed some time to kind of take it all in, get in the right mindset, tell myself that I could not die and this is never going to happen. Especially because I had come close and like twice, I think, and it wasn't like super close. But I was still thinking to myself, I need to be prepared for this. So day 100 was just simply clearing andesite. I kept on with the kind of peaceful mindset, trying to get my head into it, and did something that I enjoy doing, which is making roads. I love making roads because it's just like the different designs you can do, the way it kind of plans out a village, because obviously you can make the roads first, keep some spaces, and then build buildings inside of them, whether they be frames, whether they be like you might decide to put a park. It really doesn't matter, but I do like building roads. Day 102 and 103. I decided on a new frame. I decided on a new build and a new area. I was sitting there thinking to myself, okay, I've got to start something. I've got to start progressing, you know, make something new. So I started to build a whole bunch of frames for a new building, and I was a little excited because, you know, new builds always do that for someone who is a major builder and not a huge hardcore person. So I knew this was a safe thing to do, and yeah, it only took me two days to kind of get a whole bunch of new frames set out, a whole bunch of new ideas like set on that I was set on. So I was like, yeah, okay, this is good. We've got it ready. And I knew I could fill it in as we go. I knew I could detail it as we go, especially if I needed to take some time off from other projects. Day 104. So after putting in all those frames, I decided to also put some walls in. I was trying to contemplate what else to do next, so I thought the walls would give me time. I was using a selection of different colored terracotta, as well as bricks. Now, I did have to get clay for those bricks. That was a little bit tedious. However, it did seem that I had already collected some. I don't know when or where, and honestly I'd have to look back over the footage to figure it out, but I was able to put in as many walls as possible in one day. On day 105, I saw that I needed more roads. I wanted to kind of push myself to the edge of the like the cliff area in the cave, so I decided to build the road outwards. I wasn't entirely sure I wanted everything to be yet, but I needed something to kind of shape the area, something to give me an outline. That was until I almost died by falling off the edge. It was a bit of a shock to the system and kind of woke me up to the fact that you're doing hardcore! Don't die! Day 106 was a weird one, because I kind of came to the end of one of the roads and looked out into the voidish, scary-ish part of the cave that was not lit up at all, and thought to myself, what if I had a bridge that went in that direction? Honestly, I had no idea what I was going to build at the end of the bridge, because it wouldn't hit any solid piece of land. However, I wanted a bridge, and you know what? I made the bridge. I did. I was like, you know what? To hell with it. I'm going to build some more road. But I did take a very good hard look and think to myself, does this need a bridge? Does anything need a bridge? Do we build the bridge and get over it or not? Day 107, 108, and 109. Now you're probably wondering why the 3 days were clumped together. Well, with the bridge, I kind of wanted it to go all the way down. You know how the bridge has like, I guess, pillars that kind of keep it up? I wanted the same thing, but I wanted it all the way around the edge of my builded area. So I started to create these pillars that arched, and I attached them to the bridge. I thought, you know, it won't be going that far down, I'll be fine. Some of them went all the way down to deep slate, and that was a little bit concerning. I was like, really? I've just wasted a whole bunch of stone brick trying to make this look good. At the end of the day, it did look better than what I would have happened if I just left it there floating in the air. Plus, yeah, you know, a bridge needs pillars. Otherwise, it's just a road. a floating road. Either way, I got it done within 3 days, which was actually good because I kept jumping into the darkness and almost being killed by things, which was great. But it got done. Speaking of jumping down into places, day 110, 111, 112, I decided that I wanted to get some mining done. I needed ores, I needed material, I also wanted to explore the area beneath me. I explored as much as I possibly could, lighting up the area, which kind of made me feel a bit safer down there, and I found a whole bunch of materials, including some diamonds, which was really nice. And then I found something that kind of made me both angry and excited. I found this beautiful, huge cave with like levels and layers and a hole up to the sky, and I thought to myself, oh shit, why didn't I build here? Unfortunately, the series has already started, so I can't. However, I thought, what if I still was able to build there? I would need a way in which to get to the area though. It was confusing for me at first because I'm like, how can I do this? What should I do? And I kind of took a few moments while just doing some more mining to just think about it and what I should do and what will progress this hardcore world forward, what will look good. And then I made a decision. Day 113, I was doing it. It was happening. I had to find a way to connect to both my areas. It meant I had to figure out how far the cave was from my area already where I was building, and whether I could build a tunnel to get to it. Or whether the tunnel would just go completely past the area because it's too far over. That was my biggest fear. I kind of broke through a few times, digging all the way until I actually found any opening, and I did find it 3 times. I kept moving across until I found the perfect position that would actually match up with the road. Because I had already built it and I didn't want to have to kind of maneuver the road around just to make it work. Either way, I found the perfect path to this new area. I knew that there was going to be no way that I was going to start any building in the new area. I knew there was no point doing that when I hadn't even finished the starter area, my starter zone, whatever you want to call it. My little village, I hadn't finished it yet. So instead of going off and building more things over there, I decided, you know what? I will continue on building. And I did. I continued on doing some building in the main area, getting a few details done before starting new builds. On day 115, I came to the realization that I didn't actually have that many materials left. I had very little wood, which is an annoying thing for me because I keep forgetting to cut down trees. And it kind of sucks because I actually had a mod added to this that just made it so it's instant cut down. And you'd think since I made it so easy on myself, I would do it more. But no. Instead, I went up to the surface and started planting some saplings and cutting down some trees. I'm glad I thought of it because I definitely would need it in the future. Like, a lot of wood in the future. I make too big of builds sometimes. Day 116 and 117, I actually spent the time detailing the builds that I had already finished. I love detailing. I feel like it's that extra little bit that brings the building to life. I also find that with if you don't do detailing, or it just looks like a plain square with a roof and a door and some plain windows. It's not enough for me. Personally, and there were so many builds that I hadn't done the detailing on yet. I had done the frame, I filled in the walls, made the windowsills, and that was it. I just stepped away from it and went and did another build because I wanted to have progression. However, the little details do matter, and they do look nice. So, I got on that. On day 118 and 119, I actually was back onto roads. Now, the reason for this is I was actually going to start going towards the new area. I would have to build a tunnel. There was no way around it. I couldn't like build some weird contraption or have nether portals that linked up to certain parts. No, it had to be a tunnel. In order to do that though, I had to finish off the roads in the area. So I finished off as much of the roads as I possibly could, including the road leading up to the tunnel. I also realized the job that was ahead of me. I would have to clear out every piece of stone and andesite and ore all the way to the new place. Not only that, I would then have to fill it up. I also realized that I wanted a tunnel that was spacious, which meant more clearing. I just kept putting on the obstacles for myself and making myself not want to do it. Oh, it was awful. Either way, I did get it done and looked at the project ahead of me with absolute terrified eyes. My eyes were just widening and I was like, no, please don't make me do this.
Day 120, 121, 122, 123, and 124. I told you it was going to take a long time to get this project done. I looked at the project ahead of me and was terrified at first. I knew I'd have to clear out a ridiculous amount. I believe it was like 6 or 7 high and then about 7 to 9 wide, all the way to the other side, and it took at least 2.5 days just to do that. Then I had to get the materials, which was a bit of a nightmare too. Getting all of the roads built underneath, and then doing the walling. But when I stood back and looked at this tunnel, as simple and as plain as it was, I felt good. I felt good looking at this tunnel and going, you know what, I did that. I did that. I feel okay with this. However, clearing out that much drives the boy insane.
Well, I built a tunnel. I just thought I'd pause the recording and narrating and just let you know I built a tunnel. Continue, narrator friendly.
On day 125, I took a more simple project. I just started putting up some frames for some new builds. I tried to think about what I wanted to use material-wise to make the walls, and I decided, why not use sandstone? I don't actually use sandstone very much. Come to think of it, I cannot think of one build that I've used sandstone in, but it was something different for me. I thought, let's try. Let's use it as an experiment. If you can't experiment in hardcore, where are you supposed to experiment? But then I realized I don't have enough sand. Ah, yes, day 126. You can imagine what I did. I didn't have enough sand in the last day, so I went out and got lots of sand. Now, I wouldn't only need it for sandstone. Like, I wasn't just going out for sandstone. I would also need it for the windows. I needed glass for the windows, which would have been nice, but yeah, I had to go out. I cleared all the space in my inventory except for my hotbar and was like, this is all I need. This is all I have to take with me. And then I ran out of shovels. Day 127, I actually had to go back and get some more shovels. I came with diamond ones this time, which I was proud of myself. I finally came with some diamonds. However, I was a little bit annoyed I had to go all the way back and then come, you know, just to get the shovels and then come all the way to collect the sand again. It took a lot of time. It was a wasted time. I should have taken more shovels. In fact, I should have taken diamond shovels instead of iron because it would have been a lot more productive. It would have been better scheduled. I don't know. I'm terrible with time. Who cares? But I got the sand I needed and headed home. Day 129. It was that day. The day I decided to be experimental. I looked at the build, realized I need to make sandstone, and I realized, I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna use sandstone. It's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna use sandstone in the walls. Looked at the sandstone, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna use that. So I had to go and put it in the furnace, smelt it down to some smooth sandstone, because there was no way in hell I was using normal sandstone. Then I started laying in the walls, and it started to feel a lot better. I was a little more confident, and knew that I'd have to do some weird kind of detailing with this, or choose the right colors, or something. Because sandstone is strange. I've never used it before, and I may never use it again. Who knows? But yeah, finally got this done. Lo and behold, I had to come back on day 130 and 131 just to do the detailing on the sandstone build. Oh, it was good. I just used oak. I was like, you know what? Don't overcomplicate things. Don't make it too hard. If you overthink it, it's going to come out looking like some sort of weird contraption that you end up throwing away or never looking at again or never detailing. You're like, you know what? I'm done. It's never going to be touched. It's just going to be the eyesore of my entire village, or I just knock it down. But I decided to detail it with oak, being that the frame was made of oak as well. It was simple, easy, got it done within 2 days. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't like torches. So on day 132, I decided it was time to get rid of all the torches, or at least most of them. I understand there's going to be a lot of torches inside the houses because I haven't filled them yet, but I need to get rid of the torches. So I started looking at the design that I had for the lamps, trying to figure out if I had to tweak them at all, because I didn't want to jump in the deep end and go, I'm filling the whole entire place with street lamps, and then hating it and going, nope. Then I went and got all the materials I needed and started making some street lamps all over the place. Slowly getting rid of all the torches. It felt so good. Feels so good. I hate torches. I'm a lantern guy. Day 133. All it says is that I collected dirt and placed dirt. ... Fun. Smiley face. This sucks. don't really think I have anything else to add to that, and just, I got dirt, placed dirt. Good job! I realized that I needed more wood. So on day 134, I went out and did so. I planted a whole bunch of saplings and then cut the hell of them down. Yeah, it was fun. I even have a little bit of a time lapse. Yeah, like a good time lapse. Look at those trees. Look at them be planted and grow. Oh, it's so good. You know, this would be extra fun with like some clown music or something. If only I could have put clown music. As only I could have found some good clown music that wasn't copyrighted. Either way, I got my wood, so I'm happy. It was on day 135 I started to question my sanity. I don't know what it was. The day 35, I felt like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't like stress. Hardcore is the most stressful thing. And yet I'm doing this. I'm not hating it because I'm liking the building aspect, but if I die, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be so annoyed, and people are going to call me a noob, which I kind of am. Oh, and then I went and built some more frames and, you know, planted some saplings. But other than that, I had an existential crisis. I think that's the more important part of day 135. I would like to say that I'm a very patient person, but I'm not. I'm patient with people, not so much actions. But on day 136, I wanted to do a bit of exploring. First of all, I need to make sure I had enough materials. I went out and cut down all the trees, got what I needed, and then started to consider what I'd need to take out for the next day. I didn't have enough time by the end. I had cut it all down and replanted to really, you know, look at the sun and go, oh, that's fine. I could just take out a bed. What if zombies killed me? You know, what if that's the way I die? No, thank you. Plan for tomorrow. And I know what they say, do today what you could do tomorrow, but no. Speaking of tomorrow, day 137. That's right. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to get out there. In fact, I ended up spending day 137, 138, and 139 exploring. It was fun. I have a lot of notes on this. I really do. Like, if you can hear the paper in the background, that's me really looking at these notes. I did get a whole bunch of materials, which was nice. I did bump into some things that had, like, things I needed, obviously. I found floating islands. Now, the first one I found was kind of like it was a pumpkin island. It had pumpkins on top of it. I climbed up to that one from this water spout that had been coming down, so that's the only one that I could actually get up to. The second island was actually, well, I couldn't get to it, but it did seem to be the same sort of vibe. There was a ice island, which I think was the fourth one. It was like icicles like dripping down. Again, no water, even though it's an ice-based one. And number 3, the island number 3, was actually had the biggest island. It was humongous. Had I have known, I probably would have built on it, but I didn't. I didn't know there were sky islands. I found 4 sky islands in the ocean. I will say though, going underneath the sky islands, it was like pitch black. It was almost frightening. And then I found a treasure map. I actually found like an area that had a treasure map in it, and I was like, oh, a boat. Oh, a treasure map. And I went and got the treasure. It was not that hard to find, and I was really happy with that because I was like, I rarely am able to find the treasure maps. I did have to wander around a little bit because I'm not very good at reading maps. I'm terrible at geography. If you asked me where Turkey was close to, I would be like, Europe? Because I'm really bad at geography. But I had fun. It was actually really nice to get out into the world, see what the data packs have done, and see these floating islands. Day 140, I got back home, and I felt safe. I started building new walls of buildings that were close to the edge. There was all the frames I had built from before. I started to fill in with the terracotta walls. I really like terracotta. I do not know why. Badlands is so hard to find, and yet I love terracotta. And doing the whole clay smelt thing, so irritating. But I did find what I needed, and I had enough materials from before. I had been going out and collecting randomly in episodes, and that's why when you're like, oh, why did building roads take you 2 episodes? Because I took a break to go get materials. Like, that's my thing. But yeah, it was really nice to start actually working on the builds on the edge. Day 141, 142, and 143, what I ended up doing was stripping all the logs on the frames, placing in the flooring, and getting as many of the windows done as possible. Just the glass. I just wanted to, you know, or at least shell it out, I believe. I got some glass, but I don't think I put it in. I only shelled out the area. Because when I was building the walls, I just built a whole block. I didn't figure out where I wanted to put the windows. I was like, yeah, I'll figure it out later. That's for future friendly to figure out. But I did get a whole heap of it done, and I was really proud of myself. Though the future was going to be very unbright, having to put in roofs and detailing. Speaking of, day 144, we got onto detailing! Woo! That's right. I actually got into detailing. I used the colored wood that was close to what the frame was used. So if it was dark oak, I used dark oak accents. If it was spruce, I'd use spruce accents. Just that kind of vibe. Putting in the windows, doors, frames, all the bits around the frame itself. Trying to make it look good. I wanted it to be detailed just as much as the other ones, and I wanted to give that vibe of it being finished. I know the inside wasn't filled, I know the inside wasn't done, there's no decorations in there, but the outside is deceiving because it looks finished. Day 145, 146, and 147. It was time to go to every build. It was time to go to every build and see what I need to get done. I looked around and I found some of the builds that I had done previously. I saw them done, let's say, the top windows, so I got them done. I filled in everything with glass that I could find. I then went back to my sandstone build, filled in the floors. It was going through and trying to find as much as I could to get done. I wanted to finish as much as I possibly could before 150 days. I needed to feel like I had done the work. I had put the effort in and I had something completed. So detailing was done, windows, stripping some wood that hadn't been stripped yet, putting in windowsills, trying to get a shape for the roofs. It was a long, arduous 3 days because I was just pushing. I also believe that I didn't sleep much through the nights. Like I'd have 2 minutes left of the night before I slept. Day 148 and 149. I put in moss in the floor to kind of complete the outside. I went around making sure all the houses were done properly, putting in doors, putting in the pillars that I like to put in some of my builds. If you notice that I put like a stone or cobblestone fence, and then in between it I put some sort of wood fence, and I put up against a pillar. I don't know why I do it. It just looks kind of cool. Gives me that like vibe of like medieval or something. I don't know. I really like it, and I just went through doing all the finishing touches. Anything that I didn't do in the last 3 days, because I had taken a pause. I had gone 145, 146, 147, then paused for about an hour to go have something to eat, have something to drink, then came back and was like, okay, list of things to do, let's go do them. I did have one moment though that I really enjoyed, which is when I knocked an ender off the edge. That felt good. That felt really good. I want to do it again. Day 150. I wanted to finish this off with a nice fishing session. I don't often do fishing sessions like when I'm doing any other series. I personally find it really peaceful and just wanted to have that moment because I had just done 50 days of work. And for me, someone who's terrible at surviving, someone who's not a pro at Minecraft, hardcore is stressful. It is hard, but I'm enjoying it. I feel accomplished when I finish it. Every 50 days, I start feeling accomplished. And as I've probably said in other videos, we're only going up to 20 in the commentary style. So I would be going from 50, 100, 150, 200. Once we hit 200, it will be via projects. So a project may take me 100 days. It may take me 10. It just depends. That's the way I want to do it. I like commentary, but I also like explaining what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I'm just that sort of person. I'm a physical learner. I need to do things my way, and as I'm doing them, people can give me advice. That's perfectly fine. And if you would like to give me advice, put comments down below. Put anything that will help me survive in hardcore. But it was just nice to sit back, relax, not have to worry too much, and just enjoy.
Well, we've come to the end of the episode. That's right, we've come to the end of the episode. Honestly, I feel like we've got a lot done. I mean, look at all that. Look at all that. And the bridge over there, and like all the fixins, and that over there, and the tunnel over there. I mean, so much has gotten done. I'm excited. I'm happy, and I cannot believe I made it through 150 days. What is wrong with me? Why do I do this to myself? Just why? What is the point? Who died and made this a good idea? Who did this? Who? Was it you? I bet it was you. Goddamn you. Yeah, you. I don't know who you are, but you watching this and knowing that you did this to me. Oh, it's terrible. Anyway, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. This has been your friendly neighborhood noob. This has been Minecraft Hardcore. Oh, so hard. Oh, so terrifyingly stressful. Oh, look, there's an Enderman up there. Hi, Mr. Enderman. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Don't forget to eat spaghetti, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.